Hi guys, welcome back to Gracie's Journey and God's Faithfulness. My name is Pearl and our guest today is
Kayla.
Today we are going to talk about Gracie coming home for the first time and yeah, the good stuff. So sit back, relax and enjoy.
So how did you feel when Gracie came home for the first time?
When Gracie came home for the first time, I was so relieved. I was so happy because we were able to be home. I was able to be a mother to all of my children, a wife. I was able to take care of Gracie the same way at home, and everybody would get equal time as well. Well, somewhat. How did that make you feel, Kayla, when Gracie came home?
Happy. So we didn't have to go up and down anymore. We didn't have to buy food outside anymore.
Mm-hmm.
We could save money. We can come home. We can get good rest. Didn't have to sleep on the hospital beds
Hospital beds.
that they gave us.
it was tough, but you know what? We did it by the grace of God. Yeah. And we got to eat healthy food, home cooked food, which was something that we had missed out on a lot. So thank God.
What was some of the things that you guys faced when you guys came home from the hospital?
Well, when we came home, things were different because Gracie was in hospital for 8.5 months. And the thing is, we had help with nurses. Gracie hadn't help with nurses, but I still did not leave Gracie all to the nurses. So it was kind of a challenge for me to get the house organized the way that I wanted it to be organized, and then to keep an eye on Grace and keep an eye on the nurses as well, because this is the first time that they were meeting Grace, and I had to be able to take care of my family as well. So these are some of the things, the challenges that I faced, but it wasn't huge. And the good thing about my family is we work together, and I thank God for that. What were some of the challenges that you faced, Kayla, when Gracie came home?
I couldn't really play with Gracie because I was kind of scared to hold Grace.
Okay.
And yeah, that's basically it.
But were you okay with sharing your attention with Gracie?
Yeah.
What was the best thing about being home?
Well, all of us together again, being able to sleep in our own beds, being able to take care of Grace. You know, it was a miracle for Gracie to come home. Being able to have a home after the doctor said she would not leave, after the doctor said, you know, the muscles of her heart had been damaged so much that it would never go back to normal. You know, the things that they said, she'll never eat, she'll never drink, she'll never poop, she won't, the never.
She'd
And
basically be a strawberry.
Yeah, and being able to come home and she's at home. You know, when they told me that, I was thinking, God, she's never going to know her home. She's never going to be able to sleep in a crib. You know, she'll never and never. And the fact that she came home, I was so grateful to God that by God's grace, Gracie was able to come home. She was able to be in her own crib. You know, that made me so happy. And I was more determined to take care of Grace by the grace of God. You know, just to have her here with us was amazing. What was yours?
What was the best thing about being home?
It was amazing for all of us to be home together as a family, and for Gracie to come home for the first time and being able to sleep in her crib, being able to know where her home is. You know, that was amazing. And I'm very grateful to God for the fact that by His grace, Grace was able to do that.
What was Gracie's routine like?
Gracie's routine was the same as when she was in hospital, because we live in the hospital, they give us a care plan, like a chart for us to follow, and it had the time for Gracie to eat, the time for her to take her beds, you know, the same schedule she was on in hospital. They gave us the same schedule to follow when we got home, so it wasn't very difficult. We just continued doing what we were already doing at the hospital. So yeah.
How did you manage with all of the doctor's appointments and taking care of your whole family?
Well, I'm blessed with a really amazing family. We work together as a unit. I've always taught my children that it's not about yourself alone. It's all about all of us as a family. And that came in beautifully. This one was not thinking of, that's not my responsibility. Oh, that's not mine and that's yours. No. Everybody came together. We all came together and we did what was supposed to be done. When I had to take Grace to the hospital, I couldn't take Grace to the hospital alone. I needed somebody to be in the back seat with Grace. So when my husband was able to drive me to the hospital, I would go with him. Shai would take Caleb to school. Everybody just fell in and they did what needed to be done. When my husband couldn't drive me to the hospital, I had to drive, so somebody else had to sit at the back. Usually it would be Shai or the nurse and Shai, making sure that there was somebody with Grace all the time. For if in case she pulled out her oxygen, somebody could put it back in. If in case she threw up, whatever the case might have been, we had to have somebody with Grace. I could not travel with Grace alone. So we all just jumped in wherever we could and we all just helped out. So thank God for a beautiful, wonderful family.
Were you afraid of feeding her?
No. I was used to feeding Gracie at the hospital. It just came in like natural thing to do. Feeding her wasn't something I was afraid of. But I must say, when we first came home, Gracie pulled out the tube. Although I knew how to do it and I had already done it, being at home, I was like, what if I did it? What if I do it and I do it wrong? So I said to my husband, you know what? Gracie's feed is in the next few hours. Let's take Grace to the hospital. It was nighttime already. Let's take Grace to the hospital, take her back to the 4th floor, tell them we need help to put the tube back. So he said, okay, let's go back. We went back. Thank God he met with one of the nurses that used to take care of Gracie. He told them that, and then they put the tube back for Paul, and they said, you know what? I understand. It's your first time with her alone, and you're nervous. There's nothing to be afraid of. If she takes it back again and you're still nervous, it's okay. Come back. We'll help you, which was so nice. And we took Gracie home, and after that, I was comfortable enough to do it on my own. I put the tube back every time she needed it to be changed. We changed it. I put it back, or if she pulled it out, I would put it back in, and no problem whatsoever. That was the only thing. But apart from that, we did really well. We did amazingly well by the grace of God. Thank God. You know, the Bible says in our time of trouble, God is always there. So overall, when Gracie first came home, Kayla, was it an amazing thing?
Yeah.
Were you praying for your sister?
Yeah.
It was an amazing thing when Gracie came home. I mean, we were all home together. Gracie finally came home. She knew where her home was. She was able to sleep in her crib, which was amazing. Thank God. Our first nurse, when she came, she looked at her, and she was a very nice nurse. She was good with her. She was patient. She was willing to work with us, and we were willing to work with her, which was good. Some of the things that I observed when Gracie came home, coming from the hospital, Gracie laid in her crib with her legs wide open, her arms wide open. Gracie's muscle tone was so weak. They had already said she had low tone muscles, and we couldn't just leave Gracie anyhow. We had to put her in the crib. We had to give her her oxygen. One thing that we never did, we never left Gracie alone. We were always by her side, always. She was in a crib in the room. Everybody was in the room with her. Even if one had to go do something, we would go do something and then come back and stay with the rest. 24/7, Gracie had somebody with her. And we felt so blessed because all the things they told us in hospital, all the things that would not be, these things were now in the back view mirror. Gracie is finally home now. We are able to take care of her. They did not give her a monitor, but that's okay. That was okay. We trusted God to take care of Grace. We trusted God to keep her alive. We trusted God to wake us up if in case she took out her oxygen. So, all in all, Gracie did very, very well at home. One day when I took her to her appointment with a pediatrician, I told him about Gracie not having a monitor, and he was like, no, if she has oxygen, she has to have a monitor, and especially her condition. So I said, well, they didn't give me one. So he said, don't worry, I'm going to prescribe a monitor for you. And then he gave me a prescription, and that is how we ended up getting a monitor. Gracie was on monitor. We were able to track her oxygen saturation. We were able to track her heart rate, you know. The Bible says, I lift up my eyes unto the hills, from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from the Lord, which made heaven and earth. So, when we did not get a monitor, we looked up to God. We looked to Him to help us. We looked to Him for help, you know. And He did help us. He was our monitor. He was our healer. He was our everything. He says that he is the I am. And he is the I am for real. Because he is our physician. He is our healer. He is our monitor. He is our friend. He is our guide. He is our everything. So we took comfort in trusting that God would take care of Grace. Even without a monitor, Grace would be all right. And indeed, Grace was okay and she is okay. And I thank God for his continued faithfulness. I thank him for his love, his grace, and his mercy. You know, if only we would trust God the way we ought to trust God and not worry about things. Because worrying about things doesn't change a thing, you know. We worry about things so much and we can't change a thing. And we make life much more difficult for us. But if we entrust God with that worries us and allow ourselves to depend solely upon God, we are going to be okay. Life will be much sweeter. Life will be much easier. So Lord, thank you so much for taking care of Gracie and for keeping your promises. I encourage each and every one of you, if you haven't already, take a chance. Put your problems in God's hands. Trust him to see you through. Let his will be done. He said, stand still and see the salvation of the Lord. They did not want to give me a monitor, but God still protected Grace. And Grace was okay, and Grace is okay up to a day like today. So I want to thank you all so much for watching. And if you are new here, please hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification, and the like button as well. And please comment in the section below. For those who have been through whatever situation you've been through, leave a comment in the comment section. Tell us about your situation. We would love to hear. And if there's anything you guys want us to talk about or to do,
Let us know
in the comment section. Yes, Gillard, let us know. Thank you for watching. And until next time,
Goodbye.